Could you imagine for a minute that the Earth was flat? Well, some people do, and they are called the Flat Earthers. This collective has increased notably, especially during the last years. But what do they actually defend, and how do they think the Earth actually is? It is officially recognized by scientific institutions that the Earth isn't actually round, but it is considered as an oblate spheroid. But how have we arrived to this conclusion? This conclusion stems from thousands of years of pure empirical science. Nevertheless, there has always been this constant fight between flat earthers and spherical earthers. Already during the classical era, there were authors who defended that the Earth was not flat, but it was another shape. Anaximander defended the Earth had a cylindrical shape, and Pythagoras laid out a conception of a spherical Earth, which was later backed by arguments of Aristotle. Nevertheless, there were also philosophers who determined that the Earth was flat, such as Thales of Miletus. This belief was the popular accepted by the population. However, the great thinkers started accepting the round Earth idea, and they started it representing as a spherical planet. Despite the popular belief that during the Middle Age the population thought the Earth was flat, the popular opinion during this period of time was actually that the Earth was spherical. It is in fact true that during the most obscure times of this period, the late Middle Ages, new flat earth theories very related to the church and the religion appeared. A good example of this is the T in O map, a world map that establishes a flat earth divided into Europe, Asia and Africa, forming a T between the divisions of all these three continents, and all together are surrounded by water in a sort of O shape. All this debate was lengthened until the modern ages. On the modern ages, a new flat earth movement appeared, which is the precursor to the current one. This movement was started by Samuel Birley Robotham, English inventor who wrote the Zetetic Astronomy, Earth is not a globe. This movement had such impact that even after the death of Robotham in 1884, his followers decided to create a society, the Zetetic Society, to share their ideologies. Some years later, in 1956, the Zetetic Association changed to the Flat Earth Society, which is still active today. Nowadays, despite some people could think that everyone believes in a sphere Earth model, there's still quite an important rising sector of the society who believes in a flat Earth model. On 2004, Daniel Shenton popularized the flat Earth theory on some online forums and wiki pages, which led to the popularization of the society during 2009. From here, the movement took a new way and neglected all scientific theories and took a more empiric model. Everything had to be logical and not necessarily scientific based. Until that moment, flat earthers believed in a disc-shaped flat Earth in which the North Pole is located at the center and the Antarctica at the surroundings as a sort of ice wall. The rest of the world is distributed equidistantly through the flat surface. They state it is a suspiciously similar model to the United Nations emblem. So, what is the flat Earth ideology nowadays? Nowadays, the flat Earth model has transformed into a conspirative theory, which defends that the population is being tricked and fooled by governments and statal agencies which have interest in doing this. And this is not a small collective. Only in USA, the 2% of the population believes in a flat Earth. This is equivalent for 6.5 million people. This collective often argue their theories by rejecting the space explorations and saying that NASA was only created to make believe the population the spherical Earth theory, and that they are hiding something from us. One of the leaders of the Flat Earth community on the USA, Mark Sergent, explains the Flat Earth theory as a way of changing the world. He says that the fact of living in a globe is only an illusion, and that the real truth looks something like a flat disk. The fact is that behind all the memes that can be found on the social media, this is a serious topic. Everyone has the right to think differently. However, flat earthers reject scientific discoveries and scientific-based arguments with a very thorough backing for a conspirative idea with little reliability. What is undeniable is that science has been of crucial importance for the human development. If we had to thank something for living in such a comfortable way, nowadays that would be science. Therefore, denying science discoveries and arguments can have a very negative impact on our lives. Either if you think Earth is round or flat, you can subscribe. This has been all for today. Leave your like if you enjoyed the video and comment if you believe in the flat Earth model or in the sphere Earth model.